For cheap and instant GTA 5 money, click the link in the description. What is going on, guys? My name is Chaotic and welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto 5 video here on my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing 5 underrated cars in GTA Online. Most of these are just completely forgotten about by the community, and it's certainly understandable because over the past few months, we've received so many awesome cars and DLCs and updates. And because of this, there are more and more cars with every update being forgotten about that certainly deserve a lot more recognition than what they're getting. So without any further ado, let's get straight into things. So let's start this video off with the Benefactor Feltzer. Now this car right here was available when GTA 5 was first released back in September of 2013, over 3 years ago. So I think it's safe to say the main reason why this vehicle is no longer popular online is because we've been flooded with new DLC vehicles in updates over the past few months and years. So this vehicle has simply been forgotten about. I'm not gonna lie, I actually forgot about this vehicle myself until the other day when I was playing in single player and I came across this vehicle just driving about randomly. I stole it and took it into the custom shop and remembered how many awesome customization features there are for this vehicle. But what's even better is that this vehicle, the Feltzer, is very cheap to buy online. You can purchase this from the Legendary Motorsports website for $130,000, which for a sports car in GTA 5 is very cheap, especially in comparison to some of the previous DLC vehicles we've been receiving over the past few months. But most importantly, the customizations. Like I said, there are loads and loads of different customization options you guys can select for this vehicle at the custom shop. So to start things off, you can fit some pretty awesome looking front and rear bumpers, which make this car look even more menacing and vicious. Then in the fenders category, you've got the option to fit some vented wings, which I of course did. It goes very well with the look. Then moving on to respray, of course this car looks great in a range of different colors. Pretty much any bright color I think looks great on this car. I ended up going with a bright orange to make this car stand out and just look awesome, but it would also look very good as well in yellow, red, blue, and so on. Maybe you guys have some better color suggestions, but I think this car looks great in orange overall. You can also fit a roof vent and headlight cover as well. Not really a huge fan of the headlight cover, but I definitely like the roof vent. Then moving on to spoiler, you've got 2 different options, these being the low-level spoiler, which is probably the better option. I wish there was a carbon version of that. Or of course you've got the GT wing, which is a little over the top, but because I wanted a carbon wing, I ended up selecting it. And after that, all the rest of the customizations are pretty standard. But nevertheless, certainly enough customization options right there to improve the overall look of the vehicle and make it stand out in online. But really one of the best things about this car, apart from it being really good overall in both appearance and performance, is its price. So it's $130,000 to purchase from standard, and by the time you fully customize this vehicle, you might be spending around about $200,000 to $250,000 in total. And at that price, it is still much cheaper than most DLC vehicles we've been receiving recently from standard. And it's just as good, if not better, than a lot of them. Anyway, so let's move on to the next vehicle. Now this one right here, many players in the GTA community may have never seen, driven, or bought in GTA Online. This vehicle is definitely one of the least popular vehicles that you can actually buy from the Legendary Motorsports website. Not because it's a bad car, it's because most players don't even realize this exists in the game. It is of course known as the hijack Chameleon and was available when GTA 5 was first released, but when it was first released back in 2013, it was only available to players that bought the Ultimate Edition of the game. So it was certainly a very rare and exclusive vehicle in GTA Online. But when GTA 5 was then released on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, it was then made available to purchase, but even then, it still wasn't very popular. But this vehicle has so much potential, it is such a really cool car which you guys definitely need to know and at least try once in your GTA Online experience to find out for yourselves how good this car really is. Now, there aren't really many customizations for it. Of course, you've got all the standard stuff like the engine upgrades, the brake upgrades, and so on. You can also upgrade the exhaust if you want to, but I myself prefer the stock exhaust due to their design just being better than the other two options. Then in the hood category, if you want to, you can either fit a carbon hood or the double vented hood. I ended up selecting the double vented hood because I'm not really a huge fan of carbon hoods, but the double vented hood looked much better anyway. Then moving on to respray. Now again, this car does look great in a range of different colors. I ended up going with an ice white as I thought it looked great in that color. But moving on to the next customization option, this being roof, and there are 3 different options in this category. Of course, you've got stock, you've got painted, and you've got the carbon roof. I would have gone with the carbon roof to go with my white and black theme, but unfortunately the carbon roof changes the color of the roof pillars and I wasn't really a huge fan of that, so I stuck with the stock roof. Then moving on to spoiler, you've got 2 options again. You've got the low level spoiler or the high level spoiler. And although I did prefer the low level one, I wanted to go with a black spoiler to go with my black accent color. And then after that, I fitted a set of Carbonic Z wheels from the sports category. I made those wheels black and then changed the window tints to limo. So there we go, that's it for the customization of the Chameleon, and as you guys can see, it is one very good looking car. And I don't really understand why this car isn't very popular in GTA Online. It is a great car overall. Again, it looks good, its performance is good, and it's also very cheap. You can buy this car from the Legendary Motorsports website for $100,000, making this one of the cheapest sports cars you can buy. But it's not just a cheap car, it's also pretty fast, it corners well, it handles well, and so on. Now there are many different cars and vehicles in GTA Online which I absolutely love, and one of those has to be the Vapid Guardian pickup truck. It is certainly one of my favorite vehicles in GTA Online because it looks good, it's got loads of different customization options, and it's also reasonably well priced at $375,000. And just in case you didn't know, I in fact have a pickup truck as my own personal car in real life. It's not quite as badass as the Vapid Guardian, but that's one of the main reasons why I like this vehicle in the game. And of course the Vapid Guardian has loads of different advantages. It's a really tall car, so if you wanted to, you can push cars out of the way or drive over some of them. It's also a 4-seater vehicle, so you can drive around with 4 friends, but if you have more friends than that, they can stand in the back of the pickup truck whilst you drive around and they will not fall over due to the physics which come with this vehicle. And then as for the customization options for this vehicle, there aren't really all that many options. Of course, you've got all the standard upgrades like the armor upgrades, the brake upgrades, and the engine upgrades. If you want to, you can upgrade the exhaust and fit chrome pipes, but I like the matte black pipes that already come with this vehicle. And after that, there aren't really many customization options which really change the appearance of this, which is a shame because there's loads of potential to really upgrade this a lot further, but Rockstar hasn't really explored that. But nevertheless, it is still a very good car, certainly very good looking even from standard, and I think this car looks particularly good in red. So if you guys are looking to get yourself a slightly different vehicle to what you usually drive around in GTA Online, then definitely consider the Vapid Guardian, as I think it is a great car overall. I know most of you guys when driving around in free mode might go and use a supercar or a sports car. Try and consider something else like this because you can have a lot of fun doing so, and of course this car is great off-road too. Now up next is the Coil Volt. This car was also available when GTA 5 was first released and was kind of popular around the release of GTA Online as well back in 2013, but since then I haven't really seen any of these in GTA Online in both free mode or in races. And I think it is a very cool little car that you guys can get in GTA Online for a very cheap price. You can buy this from the Legendary Motorsports website for $150,000, which I think is so cheap for what you're actually getting. And although it's not the fastest car in the sports category, it still has some pretty good performance stats, and it's very good at going around corners. And don't forget, this car in-game is electric, which makes it silent. You cannot hear it whatsoever whilst you're driving around, and there aren't many cars like this in the game. And there are also a decent number of customization options available for this at the custom shop. Of course, to start things off with, you have all the standard upgrades like the armor and the brakes. You can also upgrade the front bumper, and you can fit the extreme aero front bumper, which I think changes the appearance of this car from a happy smile to a menacing grin, making it look so much better. You can also upgrade the hood as well, so if you want to, you can fit either a carbon hood, a vented hood, or a carbon vented hood. And again, I'm not really a huge fan of carbon hoods, so with the vented option, Now again, moving on to the respray category, this car looks great in a range of different colors like most of the previous vehicles I have shown off in this video. I ended up selecting Race Yellow to make this car look really bright and stand out. Now just in case you didn't know, there are two different variants of this vehicle available in game, one being a standard version and one being a topless version. I myself prefer the topless version, so I left the no roof option selected in the roof category, but if you guys do prefer either the roof or the carbon roof, you do have the option if you want to. Then of course I fitted these skirts and added a spoiler on the back. I ended up going with the carbon wing to go with the black accent color, which the rest of the car has, as you guys can see on some panels. But there we go, that's pretty much it for the customizations on the Voltic, and as you guys can see, this car just looks absolutely incredible. I love the yellow and the black theme that I've got going on here, and as it drives out of the custom shop, you guys can just see and appreciate how good this car really looks. It definitely is very, very underrated in GTA Online, and at $150,000, it's also very, very cheap to purchase. But moving on to the fifth and final vehicle in today's video, this of course being the 40 GT. And this vehicle was first released into GTA Online last year in the Last Team Standing update, but has never really been that popular in GTA Online. I think there are a few reasons for that, one of those being there aren't really many customization options available for the vehicle, and secondly, it is expensive for what you're getting. It is $448,000, so certainly the most expensive vehicle I'm showcasing in this video, but nevertheless, it is still a very, very cool car. It of course looks good, it drives well, and is decent in pretty much every performance area. But like I said, the only thing I think that really lets this car down are the lack of custom modifications available for this at the custom shop. All you have available for this are all the standard upgrades like the armor, the brake, and engine upgrades. It would be nice if Rockstar would give us a few front and rear bumper options, maybe a few spoiler options, maybe the option as well to change the hood. But unfortunately we don't get any of that. All you can do is apply all the standard customizations and respray it. But nevertheless, it does look good in a range of different colors. I ended up going with a metallic lime green as the primary and secondary, and after driving out of the custom shop when finishing the customization on this, I have to say it does look very, very good. But unfortunately, it's one of those cars which has never really been very popular online, unfortunately, but I personally think it should be, as it is a good car all round, apart from the lack of customizations. Well, there we go, guys. That's pretty much it then for this video. These are 5 cars which I think are underrated or completely forgotten about in GTA Online, which certainly deserve a lot more recognition. Definitely go ahead and check out these cars in the game for yourselves. They are really, really cool. I know you guys are going to love them. But I want to get your thoughts and feelings on these cars right now. Go ahead and leave a comment and let me know what you guys think about them. Do you guys have any of these in your garage right now? Or are there any vehicles in this video which you haven't seen in a while and you've just remembered after I've showcased it during the video? So leave a comment on this video. Also be sure to drop a like as well, as it helps me out a lot and it's also greatly appreciated. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I recommend that you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.